Hello everyone, Maddie here, and welcome to my first reading vlog. So, I meant to start actually recording vlogs last week, but it was a little hectic. So first of all, I wanted to just say hello, welcome. So for the week, this is actually June 1st of 2021, and this is actually the start of Whatever-athon, Maddie's reading-a-thon that she is putting on for the entire month of June, also Pride Month and everything like that. As I described in my June TBR video, I have a list of books that I really want to get to this month. I'll be going over some of the books that I'm reading in this vlog, and also just some of the things that are happening, because this is actually a really busy week for me. We are actually planning on going on vacation next week to New York City, which I haven't been to in a long time, and I'm going to be meeting my friend George there. We're actually staying over at his place in Brooklyn, and I'm just so excited. We're going to be going to a bunch of bookstores. I might even vlog some of it. We're going to go to Times Square, to Central Park. It's been a long time since we've been to New York City, so we thought it'd be a really good vacation for the year, since I don't really have much time off, to be honest. So kind of the reason why I'm even mentioning it is because there's a lot of stuff I need to get done this week. I need to record some videos. I need to try and read as much as possible, since I'm probably not going to be reading much during that week. And there's a lot of other things that, here and there that I need to try and get to. So it's going to be a little bit of a chaotic, hectic reading vlog for my first one, but I thought I would, take you guys along and kind of experience my crazy life as I'm trying to prepare for my vacation, for the readathon, and just trying to get normal house stuff done. So in case you didn't know, I actually own my own house. So obviously that comes with, maintaining it, cleaning it, all that other stuff. And even though I've owned it for years, I still am really bad at keeping to a schedule. Been really trying to get better. And now that we're going on vacation, I'm trying to actually get some stuff done. But anyway, you don't need to know about cleaning stuff in the house. So first off, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that I didn't start the vlog last week. It was my fiance's birthday, so we went back to State College, and I'll play some clips here as I'm explaining. But we went back to State College, where he's from, and we kind of went over there. We picked up one of his friends. It was a really nice drive. You could see like some of the scenic spots that I really love to watch whenever we're driving past them, going from New York to Pennsylvania. And yeah, we had a really good weekend. It was very busy, but it was very fun. So we went to State College, like I said. We came back to New York, and we went to Keuka Lake, which is nearby. I love the Finger Lakes. If you've never been to the Finger Lakes in New York, I really recommend going to them. Not only are they really fun to go to and to just swim in and watch and stuff, but it's also really scenic in that there's a lot of wineries and vineyards. And so if you really like going to vineyards and wines and stuff like that, there's hundreds of them that you can go to. So we went there. We went over to the little town of Hammondsport. Kind of went to some of the shops there, and it was just a really relaxing day. We also went over to a nature center that's nearby, and I was showing off my Eagle Scout project. So in case you didn't know, I am an Eagle Scout. I did get my Eagle Scout rank, and my project was making what's called a sensitivity trail, which is a boardwalk trail that goes through the forest, so that wheelchair and any other kind of disabled person that has a hard time going through the forest would be able to actually experience the forest. Unfortunately, there were some spots that looked like they decayed a little. It had been quite a long time since I've made that trail, but I mean, it survived quite a bit more than I thought it would. I think it's almost been 10 years since I've done that project. But yeah, so I took some footage of that going down the trail, kind of seeing, just seeing some nature. There was a really cute gazebo that has a butterfly garden next to it, and it was just really nice to be able to walk down that trail for a little while, to just enjoy the nice weather that we had that weekend, and to also show his friend that area, since she's really not been to New York that much. Yeah, and I mean, other than that, we just kind of were trying to just do as much as we could that weekend, since it was so nice. And then last weekend, so this is Tuesday now, so last weekend it was a much lazier weekend. We really didn't do much because it was raining quite a bit. But I read some. We were getting some stuff organized around the house. We were kind of figuring out what our vacation was going to be over the weekend. And yeah, I didn't really feel like there was much to talk about in the vlog, but so that's why I'm starting now. But that being said, so it is the first day of the readathon of whatever you want-a-thon or whatever-athon. So as I had mentioned in, I don't even think I actually mentioned this in my TBR. I actually just recently bought a new book that had just been released a few weeks ago. It's The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan. I actually heard of this book from Prue's project, and she loves this book. It's a dystopian kind of setting where there's these floating cities that exist because the world has just been so polluted at this point that they're trying to try and keep it alive as much as possible. In order to do that, they've actually created these floating cities that make it so that people that have low emissions in their generations are able to live there. But you have to keep low emissions in order to be able to live there. Otherwise, you have to live on the actual Earth. And I guess the reason why it's not great to live on Earth is because there's a lot of earthquakes and tsunamis and other natural disasters that keep happening because the world is falling apart practically. So there's this one sister that lives in the upper city, in the floating city, and then there is a sister, C. Sister C, who lives on the actual Earth, on this apparently abandoned island. And the problem is, C doesn't remember anything. She has amnesia, she can't see color, and she just knows that she has a sister and she's trying to find her. The other sister that's up on the floating city, she knows of C, and she wants to try and find her too, but she doesn't seem to be as attached. She doesn't seem like her emotions aren't quite what they should be. You would expect her to be really distraught the fact that her sister's been gone for, I believe, years. But she doesn't really seem as upset about it, although she is starting to find out where her sister went. But it's really good. It's definitely a book that I've been really excited about ever since I heard about it a week ago. And I didn't expect to be buying it as soon as I did. I wasn't expecting this book to be the first book I read this month. I was actually hoping to read A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab to start. But hey, you can't plan these things all the time. So this is the first book I'm reading. This will probably take me a few days to read just because I have so much other stuff going on. So I'll let you know as I'm progressing. I'm on page 85 right now. So I'll keep you up to date on how I feel about the book as I'm reading it, and also about what's going on normally. But yeah, so I'm hoping to read this week, and then you might see in the vlog me starting A Darker Shade of Magic. I believe that'll be the next book I'm reading. So you might see that also in this vlog. But yeah, other than that, welcome to the vlog, and I hope you enjoy seeing my life over the next week. Hello! So it is June 2nd, though I'm sorry if the lighting gets a little weird. It's been kind of overcast today, but anyway. So yeah, June 2nd, it's day 2 of the Whatever-athon, and actually I read a lot yesterday, so I didn't have a lot to do at work, and I just went and really read as much as possible of The Ones We're Meant to Find. It's going so fast. The story is just developing so much. There's twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. I didn't expect how the sisters kind of intermingled inside of the story. I didn't really know where they were in the timeline and the in the setting. I don't want to say too much because it actually I'm kind of experiencing it, and I don't want you guys to not get as much of an experience out of it because you know what's happening. So I'm going to try to be as spoiler free as possible, but I read so much. I'm actually on page 301. So I have about 70 pages left of the book. I'm going to be finishing this today. It's just so dystopian in that there's multiple settings. So you have the POV of the one sister K or Casey who is living in this kind of futuristic Sky City, and she's trying to figure out why her sister where her sister went, if she's dead, how she died. She assumes she's dead, and because of the toxins that are in the world. They actually do a really good job kind of making it believable in that yeah, the world is kind of ending, you know, like the global warming and all the toxins so there's like a lot of like radio toxins they're called in the air. And so I'm getting kind of the sense of like people getting sick really easily if they're not wearing these like special suits on them. So like she lives in like that's the kind of setting that you get from K's perspective. And then from C's perspective, it's more of a like marooned on a deserted island kind of feel where like she's trying to build a boat to be able to try to escape the island and find her sister, who she only has so many memories of. Like she has amnesia, she's trying to remember these things, and she also can't see color. So like she has all these senses all like missing, and all these like the connection that she has to like the real world is missing for her, and she's just trying to figure that out, but also just trying to survive because there's not much food. She's like risking her safety to try and get wood to build the ship that she wants to sail. It's so interesting that both of their perspectives are such different stories, but they coexist together. Like you go back and forth between them, and you kind of like figure out things about each of the sister in their own perspectives. And I wasn't expecting it to be this good, but I mean I was hoping it would be this good, but it's definitely on the way to becoming 5 stars. I'm really curious to see how it ends. So I'll definitely be finishing this later today. And other than that, because I'm finishing that today, I'm actually going to be able to start my second book for the readathon, which is going to be A Darker Shade of Magic. I'm so excited for this series. I've read 3 of V.E. Schwab's books now. This will be my 4th book, and it's actually a trilogy. I have all 3 books. I'm just really excited about this. It's another kind of like alternate reality where magic exists, and how the magic has influenced London, and that there's like certain types of Londons. They mentioned like a red London. I think there's like a gray London. Like there's black London. I'm getting the impressions that like these different colors or shades of London have to do with like different types of magic or different like influences, governments. I'm not really sure. I am going into this blind, and from the description, from what I've read in the June TBR video, I'm really, really excited to see where this story takes you, and also how it develops, because it is a trilogy. There's just so much to it, and this is actually the shorter of the 3 books too, so I'm really curious as to see how it goes. I want to read this book this month, and then hopefully read the other 2 books next month. But yeah, so I'll hopefully be finishing or starting this later today, and I'll let you know how I feel about that later. Hello! So it is now June 4th. I wasn't able to record yesterday, but I actually did a lot of reading over the last 2 days. So first of all, I just wanted to let you know that I did finish The Ones We're Meant to Find yesterday. It had a really good ending. I wasn't expecting the twist towards the end. It kind of flatlined a little for me a little in the end, because I was already kind of expecting that last little bit, but it altogether was a really good book. I ended up giving it 4 stars, 4.5 stars. It definitely was one that I would want to read again, and I just loved how the sisters became very different people. Like at first I thought they were kind of similar in that, like, you know, they were trying to find each other and find out what's going on, but like at the end they were just such different people, and C really made herself unique and really gave her character more, you know, they just made it more of herself and not really someone that she's supposed to be. Like, I won't explain exactly why that is, but I really enjoyed the book. I would highly recommend it, and I actually didn't show you guys this before, but the inside, so this is like it's a new book, so like it's a new hardcover, but look at this detailing, and it looks kind of like sand a little bit, and then the end pages look so pretty. And that's actually a C. This is a setting inside the story. It's where C lives on the island, and then this is where Casey lives in like the sky city. Yeah, it's just so pretty. So I also started reading A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. I finally got started on this trilogy of magic and different Londons. It was just, at first I knew immediately that I was going to enjoy this series because I've been loving everything that V. Schwab has been writing. And I know this series has been out for a little while, but I finally started it. I'm a little over halfway now. I'm at page 232, and I fell in love with the setting, fell in love with the characters immediately, and it just keeps getting better and better. I'm so happy that there's 3 books in the series. So it follows main character Kel, who's this Antari, they're called, which is a type of human that can pass between the different worlds, and they're the only ones that can go in between the worlds. So it seems as though there's 4 different worlds that exist, kind of in tandem with each other. There's Grey London, which is very much like our world. It has no magic. It's just kind of, it just kind of exists. It like just with normal kind of what London is now. Then there's Red London, which is where Kel's from, and Red London is just full of magic, and it's very powerful. It's very royal. Magic is just everywhere in the world. Everyone uses magic, but there are some people that are just like, they just have it innately within them. It seems as though the magic kind of falls within different elements like water, air, earth, I believe metal, and there was one other one. But there's like different types of elements of magic, fire. Different elements of magic, and then the Antari can use what's called blood magic, which is the most powerful type of magic. And so Red London kind of has like all of this magic just in the air. It vibrates in every object. And then there's White London, which is a London that had magic, but the magic disappeared. It's barely in the world anymore. And everyone's so, like, everyone needs magic. Like, they crave it. They want it. They want to try to find it anywhere they can. They literally tattoo and scratch runes in their skin to make it so that whatever magic they have left, they can hold on to, they can keep. And it's not very strong, but it's there. And the magic of the actual world is barely there, and it's receding every year apparently. And so like the royalty of White London is like they hold on to their power, and they're like the most powerful of the people in White London. And it kind of seems like their monarchy is more of a, if you're more powerful than who the king and queen are currently, you can kill them, or get rid of them and become the monarchy yourself. And then there's one other London called Black London, and that one we don't really know much about, other than the facts that magic was there, and then it's a life of its own. It kind of took over humanity and snuffed it out. It grew out of control, and it was going to destroy any other of the worlds if it wasn't contained. And so the Antari had decided to completely, so there were doorways between each of these worlds that anyone could go through. But the Antari, because of Black London's kind of like massive power going out of control, the Antari completely blocked off any doorway to any of the other Londons, any of the other worlds, except for the Antari, who can still go between the worlds if they have an object from that world. And so White London kind of was starved, but they're also the closest to Black London. So they've been trying to be careful, but also kind of just wanting that power that they're not able to attain. Whereas Grey London, they were completely shut out. They don't even remember what magic is. Only a few rare people actually know what it is, but they obviously can't use it. They don't know where to find it. It's kind of just, it's a fable. It's a myth, kind of like what it is in nowadays. Red London's the only one that knows about all the different worlds, and like, they're the only ones that actually have the power, but the only one that actually cares about the different Londons is the Antari, is Kel. There is another Antari, only one other Antari that I can see in the book, and his name's Holland. He seems to be from White London, whereas Kel's from Red London. And he's like Kel in that he has the same powers, but he's very much unlike Kel in that he seems to be like on his own kind of agenda. He works for the White London's monarchy, and they seem to be like bloodlust, wanting power, wanting control. And so he's hunting Kel in a way, because Kel has this power that he shouldn't have. And I won't go into detail about that, but like it's really interesting that like Kel finds this power that he's not supposed to have, and he wants to try and return it, but he's kind of having issues along the way. But there is one other character that you're introduced into the story. Her name is Lila. She comes from Grey London, so she's just an average thief, turncloak. She kind of like steals, and she wants to become a pirate, and she doesn't know about magic or anything like that because she lives in Grey London. but she runs into Kel because she has this object that Kel was looking for, and their lives kind of intertwine because of it. And she tells Kel that she wants to escape. She wants to be free from what she felt like as being confined within in London. And she's kind of like on the run too, because she's wanted. She's gonna get hanged or decapitated because of the crimes that she committed if they ever caught her. And so she wants to escape. And when she finds out about this magic and she actually sees it practice in front of her, she asks Kel to please help her escape. And so Kel at first is like, no, that's not possible. Humans can't go between the Londons. Only Antari can. But she's kind of persuasive, and she may have figured out a way to get in between the worlds. But that being said, that's as much as I know so far. There's a lot more to the plot, and this is really interesting. I'm going to finish it probably today, maybe tomorrow morning if I don't finish it today. I'm enjoying it so much. I only had this one book on my TBR this month. I'm very tempted to read the second book this month, but if not, definitely the next month. But yeah, so far it's been a really good reading month. I've finished one book for the readathon. I'll be finishing the second book hopefully today. And before I go on vacation, I'm hoping to finish maybe one more book, or at least starting another book before we go off. But yeah, so tomorrow I will give you a final update on where I'm at with the book, and I'll see you then. Hello! So this is going to be the final clip for my vlog. It is actually Sunday, June 6th. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to record yesterday. It was kind of a busy day again. I'm kind of getting used to vlogging almost every day whenever I can. But I actually have a lot to update you on, and I'll try to be as quick as possible. I don't want to take too much time. I first wanted to say that I did finish A Darker Shade of Magic a few days ago. It had a really good, actually, final ending. It definitely could be its own standalone book if I didn't know that there were 2 more books in the series. So it definitely ended in a very nice place. So, which is good because I don't actually plan on reading the second book until next month. But it ended really well. It was just like action-packed the whole time. I didn't feel like the pacing was too fast at all. They definitely finalized everything, all of the hard moments in the story, and like the big plot points, the parts that I wasn't sure if like they were going to be able to make it. I don't want to go into too much detail. I don't want to spoil anything, but it definitely had a lot of moments where I was really worried that it wouldn't end well for the characters. But they actually were able to finalize those moments a lot quicker than I thought they would, considering how I only had like 70 pages left of the book when those were happening. But yeah, they finished those moments. It ended very well. I don't know how the second book starts, but I'm assuming that it's going to continue following Kel and Lila. I'm assuming that they're going to follow Kel and Lila again, and I'm actually really curious because at the end, so Lila, to kind of give you a little spoiler, so I'll hold my hand up if you don't want to hear any of these spoilers. I'll put it down when I'm done with the spoiler part. So Lila ends up going off on her own. I think she's going to end up sailing like she's always wanted to. So she's kind of going off on her own, Red London, kind of surviving in a new world for her. And then Kel, he's kind of back to normal. He's with the prince, with his brother. But now everyone doesn't really trust him. So I don't really know how that's going to change. Like, it's going to change the dynamic of how Kel, lives in his life. That it's not going to be as comfortable as it used to be. So I'm really curious to see how that changes. And also, I'm assuming that like the dark magic from Black London and also White London's lack of a monarchy, I'm assuming that those are going to be really key points in the rest of the series. So, like I was saying, I'm really excited about what's going to happen in the next books. I'm not going to read them yet because I have so many other books I want to try to get to this month, but I'm really happy with this book. I ended up giving it 5 stars. Okay, so then yesterday I actually also read Saga Volume 5. It doesn't take me long to read these. I love this series. I actually really loved this volume specifically. It handled a lot of kind of cliffhangers that happened in Volume 4. And it's kind of so right now in the story, they're separated. The mom and dad are separated. Marco is currently in his own area with Prince Robot IV. So Lana and Hazel are kind of off in their own section, and Marco's trying to find them. And so it's been really, I was really excited to find out exactly what would happen, because the chapter 4, volume 4 is where things started to like kind of get really messed up, and like they got separated. And then volume 5, they're kind of like trying to find each other again, and a lot happens, and a lot of people die, a lot of things change, and let's just say they find each other, but a lot of other things happen as well, and yet another cliffhanger happened. I don't have the 6th volume yet, but it was actually really good. I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Usually I only give graphic novels 4 stars, but this one really did kind of captivate me, and a lot has happened in this one. So if you are interested in picking up Saga, I highly recommend it. Alright, and then I also started yesterday Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. It's one of the books in my TBR. Been really excited about it. It's a lesbian kind of romance, but also following just a black girl that is trying to fight, not really society, but she's trying to like be who she is, and to really show that she is very intelligent and that she can make a place in the world, because she just got her PhD in astronomy, and she really is having a hard time finding a job at a place in the world where she belongs, where she fits. And it doesn't help that the romance part of it is that it doesn't help that she got married in Las Vegas when she was celebrating getting her PhD. And so now she knows where the person that she married is from. She's in Brooklyn, and she is in Portland. So they are in completely opposite coasts, but they have finally found each other and communicate with each other through the phone. And it's been really sweet, like the interactions that they have through messaging, through phone calls, through the radio station that Yuki has, the girl that she married. It's just a really sweet interaction between those two, and I'm curious to find out if they end up getting back together again and seeing if it would work, or if Grace ends up deciding that like she needs to just find her place without necessarily going all the way out to Yuki, or to, you know, really change her life like that. I'm really curious about what's going to happen. I'm on page 104 right now, so I'm almost halfway done with the book. I should be able to finish this probably tomorrow. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this book. It's an LGBTQ book, so it's going to work with Whatever-athon, and I'm really curious to see how it ends. So these are the books that I finished in this vlog, and it ended up totaling to about 780 pages that I have read over this last week. It definitely, hold on, there you go. These are all the books that I finished in the vlog over the past week. So it's about 780 pages that I finished. I'm really proud of how much I got done. All of these books have been amazing so far. All of them are 4 or 5 star books, and I'm really excited. So with this aside, again, loved every book that I read. I'm hoping to finish Honey Girl before we start our vacation, and to start maybe Docile, which is also my TBR. And yeah, in the next vlog, you're going to see kind of the preparations for our trip to New York City, and then hopefully a lot of clips and fun surprises in New York City. So thank you for watching this vlog. Please like and subscribe the video and my channel. And hopefully that you enjoyed this kind of casual, me talking about some books that I read over the week. I'm gonna maybe start showing more clips of like what I do throughout the day. So if you want to see anything different in these vlogs, or if you want me to talk more about the books, or you know, just what I'm recommending, you know, during that week, if there's books that I bought throughout the week, please let me know in the comments anything that you would like to see in these vlogs for the future. Also any future videos that you would like to see on the channel. So thank you again, and I hope you have a good day.